Today, we're talking real estate with Shawna at Newberry. Shawna, what is going on the Space Coast with summer real estate?
So normally summers take off. So we usually get excited here because you've got May, June, and July. People are moving to the Space Coast, especially families are wanting to get their kids settled and in the schools. We're a little slower this year, but I'm expecting it to pick up in the fall.
Yes. Now, there's cycles, right? So the summer, people are moving. What are some other cycles, especially as we go to fall and the end of the year? What can we expect?
We've got our snowbirds. So we have a lot of snowbirds in this area, obviously, beautiful, sunny Florida. So we have our summer people and then we move right into our snowbirds. So look forward to that time too.
Good point. Now, I haven't had the pleasure of working with you, but I've purchased a few houses, sold a house, and there are some things I learned along the way when I was a first-time home buyer and then on the second time. And, communication was a little bit of frustration with some of my realtors and maybe what's negotiable and what's not. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So I think communication is key. First of all, I'm a little bit I'm not real I text if people wanna text, but I love to talk on the phone. So, I will call you if something comes up. I've got to, "Hey, I wanna make things to where you feel smooth, comfortable, everything's flowing." I do communicate a lot with my people. I've learned that I have to kind of say, "Hey, I've gotta go," because sometimes we get chatting a little bit, but I also have an assistant that you can call at all times as well, so you can always reach us. Red flags and, things going on with, like, for me, is negotiations with the other agents. You are constantly in negotiations. So when we sign that contract, I always tell people we're negotiating every step of the way. The very first thing that comes up is your appraisal. I'm sorry, excuse me, your inspection. So first we have our inspection period. So we've got to go through that. We're going to negotiate that. We've got to make sure that everything is where we want it. If we're on the buyer side, the listing side, whichever side, then we go into appraisals. So that's another time are going to negotiate. There's negotiations throughout the entire process. So you have to have a realtor that one is strong and will go to bat for you. And it's the entire process is negotiations. My husband used to tease me. He says that I should have been an attorney because I like to argue, but I get my way. So
That's a good point.
yeah,
You're the advocate
yes.
for whether you're the listing agent for that, family. And that's a big, big part of their total wealth, right?
Hmm.
And if they're buying or selling, and you're that person, you're that intermediary, you're the professional and the expert because that person who's buying or selling the home, they're only going to do that a couple of times probably in their life. Whereas you're doing it a couple times a week, a month, right? And so you know the ins and outs, and
Right.
that's what they're paying for.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
now, what communities are you seeing? What's hot? Where's their value? What are you seeing in Brevard County?
Space Coast is really hot. I mean, it's amazing with all the things that are going here, all the things that are coming here in the future. I mean, we've got Cocoa Beach. So if you got the beach, you're always going to have Cocoa Beach and moving inland Vieira. I mean, you just drive around and there's a new house, new development. It's always expanding. Palm Bay used to be this quiet little country town, and it's the largest city now in Brevard County. So we are growing in all of our cities.
It's big, it's growing fast, and there's something for everyone.
There is.
I mean, we're not Orlando, which is what people love, and we're not the Northeast, which is why a lot of people move down here, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, nobody has the Space Coast and the Space Center and
It's
all of that.
true.
And a lot of people are coming down here as engineers, and they shape a lot of the culture in our area. My parents have worked in Harris for 40 years, for over 40 years, um, and that comes good with bad.
Mhm.
Some of it is they're constantly nitpicking and they're very analytical, but it brings a lot of wealth and a lot of families, young families, to our area and continues to allow us to grow. Is there an area that's moving faster? Like, where do you see the Space Coast in 10 years with where
Oh
things are
my
heading?
gosh. I'm hoping it's not Miami
Yeah.
because that's what everyone's saying. We do have a lot of people from Miami moving up, and we've got the South, we got the people from the North, New Yorkers. I mean, we are just a melting pot. We really are. We're expanding. If you look, we can't go anywhere, past the ocean. So we're just moving and moving out. You've got West Melbourne now that is expanding. You've got a whole VR area, but now we've got West Melbourne that's growing. We've got Palm Bay moving out. We've got Grant, Valkyria down there. I mean, we are just everywhere expanding. So we've got a lot of new things coming. There's some Disney's stuff coming, they're saying. I mean, I'm hoping we're not Miami
Yeah.
because I do love our little community. Even though we're little towns, but we're a big community. And really and truly, it is such you always know somebody. I mean, we are all so close in this area. I really, really love our towns and our communities.
It's amazing. So
Yeah.
I was born here,
Yes.
Melbourne, and grew up in Indiana,
Okay.
and there was nothing west of 95,
Yep.
and now there's nothing new east of 95, really. So all the expansion is west. Palm Bay was the first to really kind of push out
Yeah.
that way, and then Vieira, and now parts of Melbourne, and bleeding into the north parts of Palm Bay. A lot of growth on west of 95.
I started in real estate in 2004.
Okay.
So when I started, Vieira was a cow pasture.
Yeah.
And I remember my broker saying, "Oh, you got to go out there, Vieira." And I was like, "Well, let me go see what that's about." And now it's crazy. I believe my first house that I sold was off of Eldron in Palm Bay, and there was nothing there. It was a spec home from somebody in Miami. So it's just definitely, I've seen it all. It's really, really, it's fun to see too. It's neat to watch and to see it grow. It really is.
Now, from the future of well, just Brevard as a whole
Mhm.
to the future of real estate, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, I don't need a realtor. I can do this with my computer. Or I can just get on Zillow." What are the things that you're seeing about the future of real estate?
I don't see realtors going anywhere. I really don't. The people that I deal with, they can't do what I do on a computer. They really, really can't. So I walk them through every single process and explain everything. I used to be a school teacher, so I educate everyone throughout the process. And you need someone there that actually knows what they're doing. And I even say to people all the time, stay in your lane. So I'm a realtor and I do my job. I have a mortgage broker. She's in her lane. I have a great title company. They're in their lane. So it's all about everyone working together as a team, and really and truly, you need every single one of them. So I don't see us going anywhere.
That's a really good point. Are you seeing, especially in the last 3, 4, 5 years, now you're not a lender, but you work a lot with lenders, and there's ebbs and flows as far as people being cash buyers or using things that aren't, traditional mortgages. What what are you seeing with that? And are there other opportunities for people to, buy and sell outside of, paying 7, 8% for,
Oh, there's always opportunities.
yeah.
Yes, there's definitely. We have buyers, sellers of all different. I mean, I've got all kinds. I've got cash, some guys got $1 million. He wants to buy a home, beautiful home in Cocoa Beach, and $1 million cash. We have different programs for people too. I mean, we have Hometown Heroes that's out there now for people, down payment assistance programs. We've got, I mean, there's just so many things. There's investment properties. I'm also an investor. My husband and I own a renovations company, so Perfect Lines Home Renovations. Anyone who buys or sells a home with me gets 2 hours of handyman services for free. And we, invest. I've got rentals out there, and so there's all different kinds of things. I come across them. I work with investors, and so there's loans. There's hard money. There's so many things out there. There really are a lot of opportunities.
What's your split right now between listing and buying as far as being an agent?
I do a lot of listings.
Okay.
I do. I do a lot of listings. I've got buyers as well, but I've got more listings than I do buyers.
And when you're listing a home, you have a story to tell, right? You're marketing for that house, and you're really trying to find who's a great fit, and obviously who's going to pay this buyer, who's going to pay the people who are moving out what they deserve so they can get out of there. What is your process to really make sure they're going to get the right value and it's not going to be on the market for too long?
So I'm really good at what I do. I just sold one last week in 4 days. So what I do is I go in and marketing is what sells. Location, you can't do anything about it. The condition of the home I can help with because Perfect Lines Home Renovations. And I do huge open houses. So we go in and first of all, we take a look at the house, what needs to be done, how can we help you get the most money for your bang for your buck. And then once I go in, I've got the marketing, I've got 200 marketing, I do brochures still, I do all the mailers and things like that. I've got social media, I've got all those kind of items there. Then we go in and we do a huge open house. So I do a twilight open house on Thursdays, which invites all of the neighbors. So now they get to come in and see everything before everyone else. You never know if their aunt and uncle, somebody wants to move in. And then on Saturday, we have our huge open house where we have hamburgers, hot dogs. I used to be a Spanish teacher. I got some really good sangria. We do beer. I do sodas and stuff like that for the kids. We've got chips. It's a big tent, usually in the front yard. And so we're attracting everyone that way. The more people that see the home, the more likely you are to sell it quickly. So I sell a lot of my homes from open houses where a lot of realtors will tell you they don't do open houses because they don't want to take the time. And so I do a 4-hour open house always on Saturdays and I bring the buyers.
Wow. Well, I never want to move again, but if I do, I am listing my house with you and it sounds amazing. Thank you for being on the show. Appreciate it, Shawna.
Thank you.